Palestinians peace off the table if Trump doesn't reverse Jerusalem move. Top negotiator accuses U.S. presidential blackmailing and punishing the Palestinian people with fresh aid cut threat. Top Palestinian negotiators say if Iraq speaks at the Haaretz and New Israel Fund conference in New York City, December 13, 2015. So this is the picture. The Palestinians rejected U.S. President Donald Trump's fresh threat to withhold hundreds of millions of dollars in aid on Thursday, saying peace talks are off the table if the American recognition of Jerusalem as Israel's capital isn't reversed. Ahead of a meeting with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu in Davos, Trump said that U.S. would no longer provide aid to the Palestinians if they refuse to engage in U.S. brokered peace talks with Israel. He also said he'd taken Jerusalem off the table with his December 6th recognition of the city as Israel's capital, a move that led Palestinians to freeze ties with the U.S. The chief negotiator, Saeb Ereck, said in the response that the president's latest remarks showed the U.S. has disqualified itself from playing a role in achieving peace, and that his Jerusalem decision was a wake-up call to Arab leaders. Jerusalem is not off the negotiations table. Rather, the U.S. is outside the international consensus. And those who say Jerusalem is off the table are saying peace is off the table, said Eric. There will be no peace without East Jerusalem being the sovereign capital of the state of Palestine. Eric accused Trump of blackmailing and punishing the Palestinian people for fighting and believing in their freedom and human rights per international law. In the UN resolution, he added that the U.S. president could buy many things with his money, but he won't be able to buy the dignity of our nation. This is not a game for the people of Palestine. It is about our very extensive that continues to be denied by Israel with full U.S. support, he said, adding that Palestinians will continue to pursue statehood while Trump fuels international anarchy. Trump also said Thursday that Palestinians had disrespected the U.S. by refusing to meet with his Vice President Mike Pence, who visited the region earlier this week, and Palestinian authority officials have refused to meet Trump administration's officials since the Jerusalem's decision. And we will give them hundreds of millions, Trump said. That money is not going to them unless they sit down and negotiate peace. And the U.S. suspends tens of millions of dollars in aid to the United Nations Agency for Palestinian Refugees after Ramallah declared that Washington could not serve as a peace broker due to Trump's December 6th decision, and Trump's threat Thursday to withhold aid if the Palestinians don't return to peace talks. A spokesman for PA President Mahmoud Abbas said that they wouldn't meet with the U.S. administration until it walked back this policy change on Jerusalem, and if the American administration will not go back on their decision to recognize Jerusalem as the capital of Israel, it will remain outside the negotiation table, Nabil Abu Radina said. So another senior Palestinian official, Hanan, okay, there's that name, Ashawi, told AFP, not meeting your oppressor is not a sign of disrespect, but it is a sign of respect, a sign of self-respect. And the Palestinians see that East Jerusalem as a capital of their future state, while Israel claims the entire city as a united capital. Thursday, that his recognition of Jerusalem as the capital of Israel and setting in motion plans to move the U.S. embassy there has settled one of his key issues in the conflict. And the hardest subject that they had to talk about was Jerusalem. He said, "We took Jerusalem off the table, so we don't have to talk about it anymore. They never got past Jerusalem. We took it off the table. We don't have to talk about it anymore. You win one point, you give up some other points on the negotiation. If it takes place, I don't know whatever will take place." He also put the blame on the Palestinians for impasse in peace talks, that money is not going to them unless they sit down and negotiate. Put my phone down. Because I could tell you that Israel does want to make peace. and they're going to have to make peace too, and we're going to have to nothing to do with it any longer, Trump said.